Yo, what's going on? Welcome into the show. You're watching Philadelphia Eagles Now by Chat Sports. Chase Senior hanging out here with you. And no matter where you are or how you're tuned in, thank you so much for making today's show a part of your day. Coming up, major updates on Jalen Hurts and Quinyon Mitchell going into this NFC Championship game on Sunday against the Washington Commanders. A lot of thoughts on that and a whole lot more. But before we get started, go Birds! And if you want the Eagles to smash the Commanders, I want you to hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. We've seen this Eagles team win one Lombardi trophy in franchise history. Yeah, Super Bowl 52, right here on my chest. I want another one, so smash that thumbs up icon if you're with me. Jason Dumas of 6ABC just got a job there after working in the Bay Area for a long time. Philadelphia native, if I'm not mistaken. Congratulations to him on coming back home. Reporting this late on Monday that, according to a source, he has been told that both Quinyon Mitchell and Jalen Hurts will play on Sunday against Washington. He said, I know Nick Sirianni basically said this on 94 WIP on Tuesday regarding Jalen. And then Quinyon Mitchell told Olivia Rayner of the Philadelphia Inquirer this much postgame, just pushing it forward as of Tuesday evening, a few days removed from that game against the Rams. As for Jalen Hurts, let's get you caught up, set the foundation, and inform you, because that's what we do on this program. He injured his knee against the Los Angeles Rams while getting sacked on Sunday. He did not miss a snap in that game. He was asked about that injury after. He said, we'll see how it goes this week. I didn't have to come out. I finished the game. Hurts is always mum and keeps it very vanilla as far as his injuries go. So the good news is that it looks as though Hurts, the team's starting quarterback, who significantly increases their Super Bowl chances if he's on the field compared to him being injured, will play in this game. My big question here, how will this knee injury impact his mobility? Because that dual threat ability adds another dimension to this offense, another dimension to his individual game, and it makes this Eagles offense so much more difficult to stop. Him passing the ball in 2024, I thought it was a good response year during the 2024 campaign, considering how he played when the Eagles lost 6 of 7 games to end last year, as everything kind of unraveled on both sides of the rock for this football team. He once again was a winner, 12-3, missed those 2 games to end the year against the Cowboys and against the Giants after suffering that concussion against Washington on the second drive of the game. Kenny Pickett, Tanner McKee filled in beautifully for Hurts. His completion percentage, it went up from last year to this year, up to nearly 69%. Some people will knock him for the passing yards decreasing, but how do you not rely on this Eagles offensive line and Saquon Barkley? When you have a running back rush for more than 2,000 yards, the quarterback's numbers are going to be on the downslope. That's the natural result of having the number one and most potent rushing attack in the National Football League. So what I wanted to see from Hurts, completion percentage go back up. It did. The yards per attempt numbers still very good at 8. He had 18 throwing touchdowns to 5 picks. After the first 4 games, he really cleaned it up there. And his passer rating, 103.7. That was better than in 2022 when he was the runner-up behind Patrick Mahomes for the NFL MVP award. And then rushing the football. The casuals will say he's only going to find success rushing the rock with the brotherly shove. No, that's not the case. 150 carries, 630 yards, 4.2 yards per carry, 14 rushing touchdowns. And as we've seen the last couple of years, other teams have tried to run the brotherly shove. They can't. They don't have an offensive line that like the Eagles do. They don't have a quarterback who can squat 600 pounds. Hurts deserves credit for that because he has a unique body type. He puts in a lot of work. That's a 365 day of the year type of workload for him to be able to master this play. And he's one of, if not the only quarterbacks in the NFL who can consistently and efficiently execute that play. Josh Allen is probably the other one, and he's a freak as well athletically. So it's good that Hurts is going to be able to play in this game, but I want to circle back to this. This is a huge key in this game, and it's a huge storyline. How does a knee injury impact Hurts' mobility? Because his mobility and his running ability is key. Some people will say, Hurts didn't do anything to win that game against the Rams. Saquon and the defense carried him. How about a momentum-changing touchdown run on the opening drive of the game to have this Eagles offense starting fast? What was a big worry and a big talking point for the Eagles offense all year? They start so slow. 44-yard rushing touchdown on the first drive of the game, snatching momentum, getting the fans into it. That's significant. That's playing a role in a victory. He also made some key throws on third and fourth down. Some of the design runs, they're impactful and dynamic. Him being able to create out of structure, that's what makes Hurts unique and special. So the threat of him running also makes the rushing attack alongside Saquon Barkley so much more deadly, and his ability to make those improvisational plays when the pass game, with some of these questionable passing concepts, when guys don't get open, he can create outside of that. And those are game-changing, momentum-turning plays and back-breaking plays for the defense. So finishes the game against the Rams, clearly a little bit limited. I hated the naked boot on second down on the final drive of the game for Philadelphia before they kneeled it out. It was an idiotic play call from Kellen Moore. Why are you calling that play naked boot, no protection out there with the quarterback who has a banged-up knee? I have no idea. So the play calling has to be better. Hurts definitely has to be better. But I just want to see how he's able to move in this football game against a Washington defensive front that's pretty good and against an interior Eagles offensive line that has struggled the last two games in pass protection. They have to be better as well. Another key with Hurts' leg, with his knee, is the brotherly shove in short yardage. You get the 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. You're running that puppy when Hurts is healthy on back-to-back plays. Nobody's stopping it on consecutive plays. But if Hurts is hurt, obviously you have to get creative with what you do in those short yardage situations. I also want to pass this along. Over the past 6 games, the Commanders have a bottom 6 run defense. Can't get stops. And so if the Commanders cannot stop Saquon Barkley and the Eagles are able to rush it successfully, dominate time of possession, what does it in turn do? It keeps that potent Commanders offense, led by Jayden Daniels, who's been playing awesome on that sideline and unable to find a rhythm. I want to see the Eagles ground and pound, play bully ball up front, run it successfully, dominate time of possession, rest your defense up, and keep Jayden Daniels on the sideline watching. What a playoff run it's been for Saquon Barkley, of course, and what a year it's been. The most legendary season that any Eagles running back has had in franchise history. And in the playoffs, he's just continued that stellar play against Green Bay. 25 carries, 119 yards, 4.8 yards per carry, a long of 17. He was really just going ground and pound all game. And then we saw the home run hitter, explosive runner that Saquon is against the Rams. 26 carries, 205 yards, 7.9 yards per carry, 2 touchdowns, the long of 78 in the snow, an iconic play, and one that we will always remember in the history of this organization. And how about how Saquon performed against the Rams this year? He ran for 255 back in Week 12, 205 in the divisional round. This Commanders offense is elite, and they can score it. This Commanders defense is average against the pass, not good against the run. So this Eagles offense might have to keep up or maintain with the potent Commanders passing attack, and they're pretty good at running it as well. And being well balanced helps Philadelphia do that. And again, time of possession, I think it's going to be critical in this game. Be honest with me. Are you concerned about Hurts' injury and his play? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Always want you to let your voices be heard down in the comment section. Our sponsor for today's show, our friends at Game Time. If you want to go to Eagles Commanders, I was looking up some data. Hottest ticket out there right now, and I think it's the priciest NFC Championship game ticket ever. The lowest price is like $600+, but with Game Time, they give you the best seats at the lowest price guaranteed, and prices drop as the event gets closer. So continue to monitor the ticketing market all throughout this week because Game Time specializes in last-minute tickets at the lowest price guaranteed, with those prices dropping as the event gets closer. And Game Time gives you something that other ticketing apps don't. Flash deals, zone deals. Thanks to Game Time Picks, you don't have to go through thousands of tickets. Game Time will give you the best vantage point and the best price point. So a lot of tickets available for this NFC Championship game for the right to play in New Orleans for Super Bowl 59 in a couple of Sundays. So download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code CHATSPORTS, CHATSPORTS, for $20 off. Terms apply. First purchase only. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time, and it's not just an app for sporting events. Thanks to Game Time Picks, you can go to concerts, comedy shows, theater events, and a whole lot more. So obviously already here on the show, we talked about Jalen Hurts playing in this game and the impact that he has on this Eagles offense. How about Quinyon Mitchell, though, and the impact that he has on this Eagles defense? He left the game in the first quarter with the shoulder injury. On that third down on the opening drive of the game for the Rams, Matthew Stafford took off. Quinyon Mitchell laid a pretty big hit on him to keep Stafford short of the sticks. The Rams did convert on that ensuing fourth down, but Quinyon Mitchell on that play injured his shoulder. Did not return, but he did say after the game he didn't think it was serious. He thought he was going to have an opportunity to go against the Commanders. He said this to Olivia Rayner, the Philadelphia Inquirer. Just spoke to Quinyon in the locker room. He was in good spirits. He said he's fine after that shoulder injury. When I asked him if he had any long-term concerns, he said, no, I'm going to be good. And look, when you think about this Commanders team, this offense is so potent. Jayden Daniels is the best rookie quarterback that we've ever seen in the history of the NFL, in my opinion. And Terry McLaurin, he's a good wide receiver, one of the best wide receivers in the game. And so Quinyon Mitchell will be tasked with stopping him, lining up across from him. I thought Isaiah Rodgers did a beautiful job in filling in for Quinyon Mitchell. The Eagles are very deep at that corner spot. But Quinyon's been, Quinyon Mitchell, one of the top corners in the game as a rookie. Great hit with the 22nd overall pick back in April's NFL draft. And Quinyon against McLaurin in game one back in November when these two teams met up the first time, McLaurin ran 20 routes against Quinyon Mitchell. 0 targets, 0 catches, 0 yards. That was Quinyon Mitchell right there. Week 16 against the Commanders, though, McLaurin got Quinyon back after Quinyon in November pitched the shutout against McLaurin. And it was kind of a weird play. Obviously, you see the scoreboard here. This is the second time that the Eagles went up by 14 points, 21-7 Philadelphia, 6:47 to go in the second quarter. Quinyon, played off. I remember Chip and I talking about it at the time. He played off, and he played away from the sideline. McLaurin kind of ran like a stutter go, stop and go. And with that speed, he was able to beat Quinyon, and Quinyon never recovered. And then McLaurin made a really nice, Willie Mays over-the-shoulder type of catch right in front of the pylon. That helped to get the Commanders going. He's a good wideout. No corner is going to pitch a shutout week in, week out. You're going to get beat at times. But the big thing with corners, don't lose your confidence. Have that short memory. Be able to flush it. And Quinyon's been able to do that all year, and he's played lockdown football against some of the upper echelon wide receivers in the game. And how about these numbers as a rookie, man? Overall Pro Football Focus grade of 73.1. That is 32nd among 223 corners. And I think he's been better with the eye test. A coverage grade of 74. That was 31st. One thing I loved with Quinyon at Toledo, his instincts, being able to make plays on the ball. That's why with my perfect Eagles draft plan prior to the draft, I had the Eagles trading up for him. I didn't think there was a scenario in which he would drop to Philadelphia like he did. So Howie didn't have to move up to take him. He fell in their lap. But I just loved his ability to make plays on the football. He had 44 pass breakups the last 2 years at Toledo. Unbelievable numbers. That is translated. He had 9 pass breakups this year, 11th among all corners. He had 13 passes defended. That was 14th, and that came on 611 coverage snaps. Next up here on the show, I want to talk about Jayden Daniels here. What a terrific rookie year he's been able to put together. This Eagles roster is so much more talented as compared to Washington, but they're in the Final Four because of him. And it goes to show you how great he's been during his first year in the NFL. And of course, you have to give credit to Dan Quinn as well. Stopping Jayden Daniels is going to be a really difficult test for this Philadelphia Eagles #1 overall defense in the NFC Championship game. When I scout Daniels, it really is incredible as a rookie how composed and confident he is. He's extremely accurate. This year, he completed 69% of his passes. He makes really quick decisions and can make any throw on the field. Really good long ball thrower. So the Eagles are going to have to tidy up on that back end. He's awesome with design runs, but also creating plays out of structure. He has been a surgeon on 3rd and 4th down, and the Commanders' play calling has been telling with how much trust they have in him because he's been able to make those plays. They put a lot on his plate. I think Vic Fangio said it best this week. Jayden Daniels is a rookie by birth certificate, not by the tape. And this year, he threw for more than 3,500 yards. He also ran it 148 times for 891 yards. What the Eagles must do, which is what they didn't do in Week 16, have disciplined pass rushing lanes and have a quarterback spy on Daniels. If you don't do that, he will carve you up, even if you do everything well on that back end. Daniels' go-to targets this year: Scary Terry, 82 catches, more than 1,000 yards, 13 touchdowns. Zach Ertz, the former Eagle great, best tight end in the history of this organization, put together an awesome season toward the tail end of his career. 66 catches, 654 yards, 7 touchdowns. Like his tenure with the Eagles, a money down go-to guy for Daniels this year. 3rd down, 4th down, and in the red zone. And then Eagles legend, Olamide Zaccheaus. He's their 3rd best receiver. 45 catches, 506 yards, 3 touchdowns. They will target backs out of the backfield like Austin Eckler, Diami Brown, a decent backup wide receiver as well. Let's do a real one roll call. If you're still watching, give me a go Birds down in the comments section. Can't wait for this game. Our coverage has been stellar all throughout this week, and that'll continue all the way up until kickoff.